So today we're going to change out the rims for the STI. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I blew out one of my tires. So let me go ahead and walk back to my back of my car. And you can see that I'm running a donut right now. Just the spare tire back here. And I was driving with some buddies, and what happened was I hit a pretty big pothole, and it really cracked my rim so much that it dropped down to, pretty much a flat tire. And I tried to fill it up with air, and it was at 0 psi. And then I noticed just along that back side that there was a bulge coming out of the inner part of my rim. So let me go ahead and show you guys what that is. So this is the OEM STI rims for the 2021, and you can see that little bulge right here. I got real lucky because if it went out a little more, I would have hit the rear caliper, and who knows what would have happened. But these are the stock ones. They're not forged, they're cast OEM rims. And you can see here, it's not a Japanese rim, it's made in China. They come with those Yokohama tires. Has a little wornness, but I wanted these ones to last a little longer. I actually liked them, but in terms of quality, the OEM ones aren't that good, especially with these thinner profile 19-inch tires, the 245/35 R19s. They're just not much kind of space to allow for that damage to the inside, just due to those potholes and anything I kind of hit on the road. So let me show you guys what I picked up. Not a new set of rims, but it's a used set. And these are a used set of I think it's the 2015 or maybe the 2016, the Launch Edition STI rims on the Hyper Blue. These are in black, but these are forged. These are from BBS. You can see that they're used. They're a little kind of scratched up, but there are no dents. There are no blemishes. And you can see in here, it's branded Japanese, 18 by 8.5, so it's a little smaller. But I think it should clear kind of what I need to do. All right, so I took off the main rim, and as you can see here, I've kind of just dry fit it just to make sure it clears the caliper. You can see there, it clears the caliper just fine. And so this is good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and load this in the car and get some tires for it. So just changed out my tires at American Tire. This is the new black rims. It's looking pretty good. All right, over here I have the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S on the new used rims. They're the BBS STI OEM rims for the 2015 Launch Edition in black. So they're from the Hyper Blue car, but pretty excited about this. So we're gonna start the STI after changing out the tires. And so it looks to me like the pressure sensor, the TPMS sensor, is still showing low tire pressure, but I believe we might have to drive it around a little bit so the car can recalibrate. So I'm gonna take a real quick drive and see if it goes away, and if not, come back to the tire shop for them to do something. So we just drove it down the block, down the street, and the tire pressure sensor went away. So I'm gonna see if it comes back. It looks like it's gone and it's good to go, but we'll take a look at this again when we're in the garage. So we're back home, and the STI is tucked into the garage. And as you can see, these are the rims as well as the tires that I got. And this is what it looks like on the STI, the World Rally Blue. Just a close-up of it. you could see that it's much different from the original rim. They come from the 2015 Launch Edition, I think on the Hyper Blue. If you get the World Rally, I think it does come in like gold Launch Edition rims. These are probably from the Hyper Blue collar, and so gonna be running this. One thing I like about it is the spoke design. It's a lot simpler, it's a lot more aggressive than the OEM one, which I'll show you guys in a second. And the one I was running, the OEM one I was running. And then for this 2021 STI, it is a smaller tire, but it still clears the STI brake caliper. Generally, this rim looks a lot more aggressive and has good contrast, I think, with this caliper to the car. But it is a smaller rim. It's 18-inch rims versus the 19. So I think the 2015 to 2018, potentially even higher, maybe 2019, was running the 18-inch rims. And then at some point for the final generations, they went into like a 19-inch rim, including the S209 and the Type RA. I think those are running 19-inch rims as well. But these rims, 245, 40, and then a 18-inch rim on the Michelin Pilot 4 S's. I was debating between the AS4s, the all-season 4s, versus the Pilot Sport 4, and the big difference is really where I'm going to drive this car. I don't go to Lake Tahoe often, or even kind of like Yosemite, kind of where closest kind of mountain spots where it snows where I'm at. It doesn't snow anywhere else. And the conditions are mostly dry and a little bit of wet during certain times of the year. So I decided to go with this. These summer tires, when I was comparing it actually performed pretty good in the rain, similar to the AS4s, sometimes even better from what people were saying, but in terms of metrics and stuff like that. And then what I also noticed is generally, I wasn't putting a lot of miles on the STI. This is like my fun car, but I do drive a lot in kind of canyons with my buddies, and so just having a tire that grips really well was important to me, and these seem to perform really well in the summer as well as the rain, in dry conditions and the rain conditions. So super important for me to have like a pretty performant tire, and I'm pretty excited about running these and seeing how they are. So far, the drive back from the shop and back into the garage, probably about 30 miles from where I got it, and I would say it feels a lot lighter. It feels a lot more nimble when I'm steering. I think because the rims are lighter. These are 22 pounds versus this is a 28-pound cast rim versus a 22-pound forged rim, and so we're losing about 6 pounds per wheel. So 4 wheels, 24 pounds, but it's also, in the center, tires are spinning centrifugal force. So I think it just makes it a lot more performant, I would say. So yeah, that's what it is. That's what it looks like. But I wanted to show you quickly. This I'm gonna keep, even though it's busted. I'm not gonna repair it. I'm probably gonna do something like maybe make a table for the garage or something like that with this. Don't want to throw it away, but this is a much heavier rim, and it is 19. They look pretty good. I did like these rims when I was running them on the 2021 STI. I think this comes for the, like I said, the 2020 and the 2021. It comes in this two-tone multiple spoke design, and what can I say about it? I would say they look pretty good. I think they, with the 19-inch rims and the stock tire size, which was 245, 35 lower profile, and then R19 or lower than this one. Generally, I think it fit. The fitment looked pretty good with my Öhlins. At the time, I could probably put a picture up what it had looked like, but it just wasn't as performant. And I think when I cracked the rim, I decided, like, instead of buying a new rim, I could buy just one and then keep the other 3. But I just wanted to make sure on the roads, if this happens again, you know, I have something that's a lot stronger and that could probably take it, as well as the larger profile tires from the 35 to 40s would work. But you'll see there, this is the crack, and it looks less prominent from the outside, but now that the tire's off and you can see how deep that dent was, maybe it was cracked before from all the potholes up here, or maybe I hit something on the road, or maybe I hit like a big bump or maybe a rock on the road and just knocked it flat out. And so I got lucky, it didn't hit the caliper like I said, but really happy to get this thing running again. And the only thing to do is get an alignment. It does pull to the left a little bit when I noticed I was driving back, and I would say probably just want to make sure it's back in working order. One thing I will do is probably right now just look under the car really quickly, just really see if there's anything else that kind of got knocked out of place. I haven't really like looked underneath quickly, but haven't put it on like jack stands and really looked thoroughly. So I'm gonna do that, and then if it all checks out, I'll probably get an alignment and this thing will be good to go. And the last thing I was thinking of is just like getting wheel spacers. I think with the 18s going from these 19s, they look a little bit more tucked in, even though they're not, they're the same. So considering getting like maybe a 10, 15, 20 millimeter spacer. The only thing I worry about is just because I'm running a little bit lower on the Olins, dropped a few inches. It might rub depending on like what I hit on the road, like another pothole or something like that. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for hearing my story about this STI, and more to come on the STI this coming year. I've been kind of using this and just enjoying the drive, but got to do a few maintenance things, put a few videos on that, and then probably also some visual enhancements sooner than later. But yeah, there's that. And this, you know, my channel is mostly about the RSX, and there's still a lot to do there. So looking forward to posting more content on the RSX this coming year.